Yo, it's your boy Marcus and Morrison back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the COD Mobile Identity Crisis and what is this game now from the perspective of how it's changed and what they're turning it into, right? So right now, COD Mobile is as comparable to Warzone Mobile as it's ever been. Like it's pretty much as close as they can get it to Warzone Mobile with every change they make going forward. Now, not everybody is against that. Some people probably really liked Warzone Mobile, so they're glad that since Warzone Mobile's gone, they can now play COD Mobile and it feel more like what they wanted to get out of a mobile Call of Duty game. A lot of people are like, this sucks. And I'm one of those people. That being said, I do still enjoy the game. I just think that the identity of the game is changing rapidly, and it's changing for, in my opinion, the worse, because I'm not a fan of, tack sprinting. As you can see right now, I'm tack sprinting. Now, I'm not actually running any faster because we don't have that feature in COD Mobile right now, but it's just like a visual effect that they've had where you tack sprint, right? And you do it with a lot of guns that you have mythics for, you'll tack sprint with. That's when you lift your gun up in the air like that, and then you're running around. Now, in Modern Warfare 2019 on console, when you did that, you would actually run faster, right? You would go from normal, like jogging, I guess, to tack sprinting and sprinting with your gun in the air as fast as you can. And when they added that feature into the game, it made sprint to fire a super important aspect of the game, because your sprint to fire speed was integral to having, winning more gunfights, because your gun would be pulled up a lot faster, therefore allowing you to aim down sight faster and then shoot first, right? That's a feature. Having that in this game would suck. Honestly, that would be terrible to have to deal with that to an even higher degree than what we already have it in this game. So I'm not a fan of it personally. I've kind of discussed in one of my more recent videos about the downfall of Warzone Mobile. No, the downfall of COD Mobile Battle Royale. And I discussed in that video how the downfall of Warzone Mobile is changing COD Mobile Battle Royale into Warzone Mobile, right? Instead of it just having the identity of being a BR, a more natural BR, it's just kind of Warzone now. And it's just like, is that really what people want? You know what I mean? If people do want that and they want their gunsmiths and they want to do their contracts and stuff like that, and it be Warzone, then, whatever. I'm fine with it. I really don't play much BR after I hit Legendary, so it doesn't really impact me. But if that's not like an overwhelming yes, like, why are we making these changes? You know what I mean? Like, does the game really need that? Like, I feel like the changes that need to be made at this point are not, turning this into Warzone. That doesn't seem like something that's going to be better. What's the path forward with that? Like, you just keep doing it until it's eventually just Warzone Mobile with COD Mobile in the front of it? You know what I mean? Like, what's the plan? Now, I'm not saying it's to that degree, obviously, right now. COD Mobile still has its own identity, but I feel like it's going through a crisis where it's like, what are we getting to? Because now they're adding in DMZ, and they're adding a lot of DMZ content and things with DMZ, and that's like a extraction shooter, right? The only DMZ that we've ever gotten was in Modern Warfare 2 2022, in which, that DMZ mode, in my opinion, sucked and had little to no desirability to play it. Now, they've done a lot with this DMZ mode to make it more fun, right? The looting is a lot more fun and enjoyable to do. I feel like the contracts are enjoyable to do. I really like doing those. Ultra attachments is a big thing with people. Ultra backpacks, armor, guns. Like, those things have really, really boosted people's opinions on the mode overall, right? And that's more of like a Warzone era mode. Like, that's not really just a normal mode. Like, that's from the Warzone era of console Call of Duty. It's kind of a Warzone-esque thing. So I don't know. I feel like that's also part of this crisis. Another thing with the Warzone-esque crisis, the attachment system. I mean, this dates back to years ago, and I probably said this in some of my really early videos. If you go back to like when I first started the Road to Diamond series, go to Road to Diamond episode 2 or something like that, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, however long it's been, I probably discussed in this video like the attachment system that we now have, being Gunsmith, makes this way more like a Warzone-esque, Modern Warfare 2019-esque feature, and it's changing this game for, in my opinion, definitely the worse, because I really enjoyed just putting on a grip, stock, and a quick draw, and that being on my gun, and that's it. You know what I mean? Or just a red dot and quick draw. You know, so what we have now is like 5 attachments. You know, they're probably going to put in a wild card that's going to allow you to have 8 attachments. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be more and more like that. And I don't have a problem with some of them in some degrees, but sometimes it just feels like they're doing too much with that in the Warzone-ification of this game. And one of the worst ways they could do it going forward is if they do it to zombies, right? I really think zombies is in a bad spot already just because they don't put any content into it. And I think turning it into like Warzone zombies, and anybody who plays zombies on console knows like the Warzone era of zombies is the worst era. It's garbage. It sucks. And most of the maps suck. But that would be better than nothing. Honestly, do something with the mode. Even if it was something that I dislike, I feel like that would be improvement, at least in some degree. I don't know about open world, like whatever you call it, outbreak zombies. That would kind of suck. But, you know, whatever. That's what I'm saying. So, overall, I think there's been significant changes made to Warzoneify, COD Mobile, and it's caused an identity crisis where I feel like the game just isn't what it once was, and it's kind of lost what it was meant to be and turned into just a amalgamation hodgepodge of all kinds of different things due to the downfall of Warzone Mobile and what they can now do with those assets that they can get into COD Mobile now, because they were going to be only in Warzone Mobile, which is probably what DMZ was. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you want to. Let me know what you think about the COD Mobile identity crisis. And yeah, it's been your boy Marcus Moistini. I'm out of here. Peace.